Alright, today we'll discuss surviving math. No worries, I won't overload you with equations. Lante, confident, aimed to teach summer school kids, but the math director was uncooperative, like one who tasted a sour candy. Even the teachers here might find passing the AP exam feels like a tug-of-war with life. Entering this exam sans textbooks or basics with math novices seems tougher than scaling a peak. Imagine the confidence melting like summer ice cream if they fail. The director had some valid points, but Lante's attitude was as unyielding as 100 durians. He was determined to teach. Reluctantly, the principal approved the summer school. In July scorching heat, students crowded into an air-conditionless classroom, like entering a sauna. Yet, fueled by their thirst for knowledge, they struggled against the heat, much like pine trees surviving in the desert, reaching for the sky but going unnoticed. After 3 months of hard work, they finally tackled the demon subjects of trigonometry and mathematical analysis. When the new semester kicked off, Lante was adamant about each student signing a contract. Start class an hour early, end an hour late, and come in on Saturdays. The guy was ready to make them groove to his rhythm. Almost all students were willing, as they saw a promising future with Mr. Lante. However, one parent objected. "My daughter's never loved studying like this. Is she aiming to be a math whiz or just dodging housework?" She hesitated, but couldn't resist her daughter's determination. Trust was the name of the game, even if it felt like a get-out-of-housework-free card. The next day, all the students turned in their parents' signed contracts, except for John, who was skipping Saturday classes for a higher-paying weekend gig thanks to his. Lante didn't press John too much. Instead, that night, while driving with him, he asked about his future direction, but the car ended up on a desolate road. But following the mother's sincerity and daughter's gaze, Lante opted for another route. They eventually ended up in that forgotten corner. Lante mused, with countless paths in life, one shouldn't let fleeting fame sway long-term goals. Seeing the bigger picture is far more important than the little annoyances of today. Enlightened, John decided to ignore his uncle's kind offer and choose a brighter. Lante's calculus class became an epic adventure, where everyone banded together, pursuing knowledge filled with surprises. As they progressed, despite the bumpy ride and grades occasionally resembling a roller coaster, they remained steadfast. The joyful sounds from outside the school started to chip away at her inner walls. Unable to handle the pressure anymore, she chose to walk out, but Lante cracked a joke. "How could I thank you for using my life as a lesson?" Realizing he might have stepped on her toes, Lante hurried out to apologize. Venting about her troubles, she shared, "This tight schedule cost me my boyfriend, and my family's misunderstandings are hitting me like a tidal wave." Lante kept it simple, offering her a shoulder to lean on, yet he too faced similar struggles. As a teacher, he lacked family understanding. His wife complained he neglected their child's math grades for work. "You're burning the candle at both ends teaching night classes for adults. How smart is that? You should spend more time with our youngest son." Angel was somewhat lucky. Her grandma supported her, but being elderly meant she often needed Angel to take her to the doctor. This often made Angel late for class, until that day, when her innocence finally ran out and she had no faith left. She wanted to lash out at Lante, but remained composed, personally explaining her lateness, clearing the air between them. She was determined not to return to that self-inflicted rut. But as exam season drew closer, Lante's stress began to skyrocket. Eventually overwhelmed, she collapsed on her way home, her body giving in. When she woke up, she found herself in a hospital bed. The doctor said it was due to overwork, and she needed at least a month to recover. The students fell silent. The fate of their calculus exam suddenly felt as daunting as a deadline. However, Lante refused to stop teaching. He tirelessly organized notes for his students from his hospital bed. Exhausted, he even arranged for the nurse to deliver it to the school for their review. The students, seeing his determination, erupted in tears. It was as if their dreams were reignited. Looking out of the window, Lante rallied them with uplifting words to reignite their confidence in learning. As they confidently marked their papers, fate began to show new possibilities. After the exam, they rendezvoused at the ocean, where the shining sun washed away their burdens. A lifetime of dreams set sail across the sea, filled with newfound confidence. With confidence, they celebrated their success. Their laughter grew louder, savoring their last high school break. A gentle breeze brushed against their innocent smiles, healing countless sleepless nights. Finally, their unnoticed efforts paid off. One day, while fixing a car, John noticed Judy stuffing an envelope into the mailbox. It was his calculus report card. In that moment, joy surged like waves, marking the climax of their dreams. The principal announced that all 18 students passed, and they'd outperformed every high school in Southern California. The principal said nothing of Lance's contributions, causing students to interrupt, declaring, "Let's give credit where it's due, time to honor the real hero." Finally, Lance Charlie stepped forward for a group photo, as proud as an award-winning director. That day, they were elated, enjoying their last break until a phone call shattered the tranquility. Students were suddenly suspected of cheating, and their scores were put on hold. This shocking news felt like a bolt from the blue. Anna was downcast. John lost interest in fixing cars, and Angel sank back into confusion. The principal had already washed her hands of the matter, never believing these slackers could create miracles, refusing to defend her students. The investigators turned hostile, pointing blame and intimidating the girls in class, which absolutely infuriated Angel. Angel thought to herself, "I've got to come up with something. It's time to play a little trick on them and launch a righteous counterattack."